look in your eyes, I see an innocent child. I see pure possibility. Power in your very hand. The world is at your command. You are pure possibility. Do you know you are precious? Do you know you are free? Do you know you are a child of God? And that makes you royalty. Do you know your dreams could take you beyond your imagining, unlimited and free, pure possibility. Perfect and one of a kind, it truly boggles the mind. You are pure possibility. Remain brave-hearted and true, and let the magic come through. You are pure possibility. We'll give you very best of life, all your days through, and remember who you really are when they try to label you, and know that love is closer than the breath inside of you, unlimited and free, pure possibility. Within every soul, we are perfect and whole. There lies pure possibility. Yeah. Pure possibility.
Claudia Carawan. Please be sure to visit Claudia's table as you go out today. I'm sure she'd be happy to autograph one of her new CDs for you, if you'd like. Good morning. Good morning. Do you know that you are precious? Yeah. Oh, yeah, all right. We're going to have a good time this morning. Yeah. Do you know the power that you hold in your very hand? The whole world is at your command. You are the point of pure possibility. It's not like life is offering you possibility, but you are that possibility. You are a point of power in the field of pure potentiality. Let's let that sink in a little bit. Think about this. Chew on this. You are a point of power in a field of pure potential, pure possibility. You are that. Whatever it is that you want, you're that. The Daily Word today said, it's very simple. Whatever we want, we give it. Whatever we want to receive, we give. We call it the law of compensation. Whatever you focus on, you get more of in your life. Simple, but not easy. We start appropriating these new ideas. God is everywhere present all the time. So that means good is everywhere present all the time. But Reverend Dale, I just saw CNN this morning and they were telling me a different story. Right? Right. Where's good in some of the stuff that's happening? But yet, our teaching is very simple. There's one presence that's everywhere all the time, and that presence is good. So we wrestle with these ideas. That's what we call it in Tennessee. We wrestle these ideas. I've been studying a little bit this week about the story of Jacob wrestling the angel, and would not let go until he received his blessing. I claim my blessing. We're going to hear that in a little bit. I'm going to claim my blessing. I'm going to name it and claim it because it's here for me all the time. So when we talk about blessing, we might default to the old ideas of God that we have, that He, the old white guy, is out there on a cloud somewhere, dispensing blessings on a whim, maybe. I don't know why this happened. You know, if God is dispensing blessings kind of willy-nilly, that means that God is dispensing curses as well. Why did this happen to me? Ever said that? Yeah, I tried to do what you say, and still I can't get a break. What's going on? It's not God. It's me. I'm the one that has to change. I'm the one that has to take these ideas and work them out for myself. Each person must work out their own salvation, Paul said in the New Testament. It's up to me to appropriate these ideas. You know, our friends in religious science call this a science of mind. It is a religious science. It is a logical working out of these ideas. If God is everywhere present all the time, and God is life, and I am an expression of life, then how can I be sick? If God is everywhere present all the time, and God is absolute good, the source of all my good, and God never runs out, God is inexhaustible, and God is freely accessible to me all the time because I am that, then I cannot be poor. These are the ideas that we work with. And as soon as that comes out of my mouth, there's another little voice in my head that goes, but what about? But what about? So I wrestle the angel until I get my blessing. Now when we look at this story of Jacob in the Old Testament, remember we can't just take one thing out of context and try to be able to understand it. We have to look what happened before this incident of Jacob wrestling the angel. In fact, has anybody ever even heard of this story of Jacob wrestling? If you grew up in a Christian church, I'm sure that you've heard it, but some of us, it's kind of obscure in a way. You might hear people referencing Jacob wrestling the angel. Did you know that Jacob was a twin? He was the brother of Esau, and they were the grandsons of Abraham. Abraham is the patriarch of the three major religions on the planet today. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all supposedly come from Abraham, the father of the greatest or biggest world religions. Abraham had a son named Isaac, and Isaac was the father of Jacob and Esau. So for Jacob and Esau to receive Isaac's birthright was a big deal. There was probably a little cash involved in there. Maybe some power to go along with that, some property, right? So it says that Esau was born first, but Jacob's name means supplanter or grasper because it says that he reached out of the very womb and tried to grab Esau by the heel and drag him back in because he wanted to be the first one out.
And Jacob was his mom's favorite. Rebekah favored Jacob. So they conspired together to trick Isaac into giving the blessing to Jacob instead of Esau. Who needs Game of Thrones when you got the Old Testament, right? This stuff is rich, we're talking about. So Esau was this burly, hairy guy. His name means red pottage. He's an earthy, red-headed, hairy guy. He was impulsive. One of our co-founders, Charles Fillmore, tells us that he represents our animal impulses, our passions, and our lusts. Because back in those days, it was a no-no to marry outside your tribe. You did not marry somebody from a foreign land. It just was not done. But yet Esau had not one but 2 wives that were not from his tribe. Ooh. Yeah, and he even bartered with Jacob to sell his birthright for a bowl of soup. Right? Total like, what are you thinking? You ever been there? Oh, yes, sure. I'll give away my divine inheritance for this little thing I think I need to have so bad over here. Right? So Rebekah dresses Jacob up in some animal skins and takes him into the tent to see Isaac. Isaac is old and feeble and he can't see very well. So he reaches out to touch what he thinks is his hairy son, Esau. And it's really an animal pelt that Jacob is wearing. So he gives officially the birthright, the inheritance, to Jacob. Now naturally, Esau, being the passionate, lustful man that he was, when he found out about this, he wanted to kill his brother. And Mom said, Jacob, you need to get out of here right now because he's going to kill you. So Jacob went off to a foreign land, stayed there 20 years. He was very poor for a while. He'd given up his divine birthright for what he thought was riches. And then he didn't get anything anyway. Had to leave home. So the point of the story that we pick up on is when Jacob is going back to Canaan to try to reconcile with his brother Esau. Now he gets as far as the river Jabbok, or Jabbok, I'm not sure, J-O-B-B-O-K, and he camps there. On the other side of the river is Esau with 400 men. Wow, he's ready to get Jacob, right? Jacob takes his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, his 11 children, all his possessions, and sends them over the river as an offering to Esau. And this represents this giving up in thought of our attachment to everything that we think is going to make us happy. See, when we look at this story metaphysically, it begins to make sense. This is the point I want to look at today. When he's there by the river and he so wants to be back with his family. He's afraid that he's going to get killed. He's got wives and cattle and everything you think you would need to be happy back then, but he's still got this going on inside. So he just, in his mind, he just gives it all up. Here, Esau, take all this. And God, help me. I'm ready for my blessing. I'm ready to receive my blessing. So a man shows up. In different interpretations of this story, it's a man, it's an angel, it's God himself. Shows up and begins to struggle with Jacob. And they struggle, they wrestle all night long. And in the morning, the angel says, are you going to give up? The sun's coming up. No, I will not turn you loose until I receive my blessing. So the real blessing that he wanted was not really from his father. of the material wealth. He lost all that. It says when he went off in this other land, he actually became rich. He was coming back a wealthy person. And he was willing to give it all up for that wealth that comes from the inside, the divine inheritance. Have you ever been there before where you have on the outside everything you think you need to make you happy, and you still got this turning going on? I like to call it the divine urge. It's like God wanting to express even more is me. I'm trying to appropriate these new ideas that I'm learning. I'm trying to get a deeper understanding of truth, but I'm struggling with it. Every person must work out their own salvation. We have to appropriate these ideas and work them out for ourselves until they begin to make sense. And then we see them begin to manifest in our life. This is why the denial part of denial and affirmation can't be ignored. You know, we want to just come into unity and go, I'm rich and happy and healthy, and life is wonderful. God is good and all is well. But then we're still not paying attention to all of that other baggage that goes, no, it isn't. Like, who are you to deserve to be happy? Don't you know that your whole family is poor? You know, everybody has cancer. You're going to get it too one of these days. All of those voices in there that we have to work with. We can't deny. We can't suppress it. We have to feel it to heal it. We feel it to heal it. We reveal it to heal it. God, reveal in me what needs to be revealed and heal what needs to be healed. So we work with the old ideas as well as the new. Emma Curtis Hopkins calls it a negation. I know that this situation has no power over me because it's material. I can send all that over the river because I'm going to wrestle this new idea until I get my blessing. I am not giving up. You know, when we went to the retreat at Unity Village, we worked with Reverend Carla, and she talked about trouble at the border. When we're working with a new idea and we're just about to bring it into manifestation, that's when we have the most trouble. That's when we get all the pushback because we brought it right up to the edge of physical manifestation, and then everything starts pushing back. So once we get through that, cross over that river without all of our baggage, Jacob crossed over the river the next day. He had received the blessing. He named the ground that he stood on Peniel. E-L means of God. That's why all the angels have E-L at the end of their name. He named the ground he was walking on Peniel, which means the face of God. In wrestling with himself that way, appropriating these new ideas, he saw the face of God. He saw his very divinity. And then he was able to cross that river unafraid and go to Esau and say, can we talk? Let's work this out. And you know what happened? God had come to Esau in a dream the night before and said, you need to forgive your brother. He's coming over the river. You need to forgive your brother. This is the way it works when we begin to work with when we begin to work from the inside out. So, whatever we want to receive, we have to be willing to give. Simple, but not easy. It means letting go of sometimes very long-held and cherished beliefs that we have about ourselves, about other people, about how life is supposed to work. But the benefits of that blessing, and see, the blessing isn't something that is necessarily given to us. It's something that we open ourselves to receive. We open our consciousness to receive a greater blessing. We change our mind. We open in order to give. There are two seas in Israel. There's the Sea of Galilee, and there's the Dead Sea. The Sea of Galilee is the sea that Jesus got out of the boat and walked across. It has an inlet and an outlet, the River Jordan. Water comes in, water goes out. It's alive. The Dead Sea is called the Dead Sea for the reason it doesn't have an outlet. It's stagnant. Stuff growing in there you probably don't even want to know about, right? It's the same way with us. We have to have an inlet and an outlet. We have to go into prayer, open ourselves to receive these ideas. The blessing is already there for us. God's grace is freely available to us all the time. We just open ourselves to it. And then we fashion it and shape it into what we want to experience as we give it into the world. Because God is created, giving energy. We're made in the image and likeness of God. We are giving creative energy. This is our divine birthright, to create, to give, to express. So just like Jacob, we have to continue to wrestle with these ideas until it's not just a belief anymore, but it's a knowing that I have seen the face of God. I've looked myself right in the eye and I've seen God's face. So let's take that in prayer. Take a breath. And feel yourself opening. Just like the sea. Opening up to that influx of divine energy that is our birthright. We are all heirs to the kingdom, the queendom of the Most High. We are expressions of God. We are royalty. We are precious and beautiful. And as we begin to fully accept these ideas, even though we may struggle, we come out on the other side even more powerful, even more dedicated, even more expanded than before. So we're grateful for this power that moves in and through us. We're grateful for the ability to open ourselves to it. And we're grateful that we can shape it and mold it and give it and share it with the world. So we give thanks for this day, for the beautiful people filling this room this morning, for everything that has come together for us to appropriate this truth that God is good and so are we. And we declare this is so in the name of the living Christ and after the nature of our way shower Jesus. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen.
Thank you. That was inspiring. Before we start this song, I just want to thank you for your southern hospitality. I also want to thank your magnificent music team for joining me in this song. This song is really based on a practice that I have put into place. This is the way I wake up every morning. I hope you'll join me.